I think it just shows a lot of conviction. Like they think he's the guy, so they went and got him. And then the next pick, similar mold. Brooklyn goes Yegor Demin at 8. Yegor emerged as one of the more polarizing guys too. I've been probably pretty high on him compared to most throughout the year. Has been in the top 10 on our board from preseason on. Um, Interesting pick. I before the draft kind of penciled Brooklyn as maybe one of the more interesting spots for Yegor, just because the coaching staff, they're kind of a blank slate still, where they got a bunch of young guys. Give him a
Mm-hmm.
lot of freedom. He's gonna be able to learn on the ball, maybe play a little bit off of the ball. Um, Interesting pick. I think it's probably one of the more intriguing picks at 8. They end up taking. So they take Yegor at 8. They pair Yegor with Nolan Traore at 19, downhill guard, which I kind of like the pairing. You get someone who's a big time playmaker. His biggest weakness is putting pressure downhill. You pair him with a super speedy, elite burst French point guard. Then they go Drake Powell at 22, with both of us have been hearing there was potentially a promise there. Not a well kept secret for 2 months.
I think they told a bunch of people and they were waiting for someone to report it. And I think that everybody was just trying to be nice. But yeah, I mean, I respect the fact that they're like, we like Drake and we have 5 picks and he's probably going to be one of them. So good for the Nets. They got what they wanted.
Yeah, it's always funky. Like I'm still new to this, but you hear like something like that, and it's kind of like, well, why is that so open? Like, right? Like why is that public? But
I think that, what you have to remember and what we all have to remember a lot of the time with the scuttlebutt is that this is more agents than anyone. You know what I mean? Like front office guys aren't going around just like, hey, what are you hearing? Or, hey, let me give you, I mean, maybe they'll give you something every once in a while, but you got to be really smart about what you react to because, again, agents and things you hear. That was the best note I got a long time ago from BJ Armstrong. He was like, there's a reason somebody's telling you something. So always think about that. So, obviously Brooklyn wanted everybody to know they wanted Drake Powell, and they got him. So congratulations.
yeah, so they get Drake, and then they go Ben Saraf, Israeli point guard.
D'Angelo
Um,
Russell of Israel is what they said.
that was a bold statement,
Yeah, that was
um,
wild.
especially on live television. 26, they go Ben Saraf. Then they go Danny Wolf from Michigan, one of the more unique players in the entire draft. A lot to unpack with Brooklyn. So they have 5 first-round picks. Everyone's talking about, whether they're dispersing ammo to go and get Dylan or go and get Ace or potentially get one of these young assets across the league that's available. They end up picking all 5. And they don't just get 5 young players. They get like 4 playmakers and one kind of like rangy wing. Um, Unique draft. I didn't expect them to keep all 5, to be honest. I'm sure they tried to move some of them. I don't know when's the
Oh
last
yeah.
time 5 first-round picks all got selected. I don't know if that's ever happened, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly, I would assume this has got to be one of the first times, if not the first time. I would assume. I mean, Minnesota had 4 in 2009. That's the only time I could think of. I mean, I've seen 4, but 5 feels like the stretch. But I'm sure somebody has stats and info ready to go. But 5's a lot. 5's too many.
5's a lot. Yeah, it's just a lot. I'm curious to see how it unfolds. The rotations of summer league, right? Like, um, Wolf could be good value at 27. We talk strictly skill set, strictly off the film, the basketball of it. Like he's a pretty talented player. He can pass, he can shoot, streaky kind of a shooter, but he's shown the ability to knock down shots. Physical in the lane, can rebound. Defensively, he can get probably going to be a learning curve. He can get picked on a little bit with his foot speed, but like he's got really good, just unsurprisingly, with the way he handles the ball. But he has really good hand-eye coordination. So like
Mm.
maybe he'll get like caught on scrambles and like high level basketball reads at the NBA, but like I think there's a lot to work with there. I was a little bit lower on Saraf on my board. I had him like a second round grade, early second. But I'm intrigued to see how it goes. I think Powell is an interesting swing. I kind of felt he was gonna go somewhere in those like 20s. But like we've seen like rangy wings that are young, maybe don't have the freshman years they expect. Like there always could be some value there if the teams are willing to kind of nurture them long term.
Yeah, and a lot of times these guys come in and they don't even really have skill sets yet. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, you have to project what their scoring skill set is going to be, and that's why you have a Michael Kidd Gilchrist situation, right? And a guy like a Harrison Barnes that they were forecasting to be like a Kobe Bryant primary scorer. You know what I mean? It's like hard to know what these wings will translate and turn out to be. I mean, Jason Tatum seems to be the blueprint of what you want these wings to turn out and turn into at some level. We'll give Jaylen Brown some credit as well in there, but I mean, that's the general conceit. For me, I think that Brooklyn kicked the can this year and they kicked it the next year. And they basically, by making all 5 of these picks, said to everybody in the NBA, we are also tanking again. The tank is back on. And I think that Jagor, they really liked, obviously, but guess who they'd love to pair him with? His college, teammate, AJ DeBanza. So, like, if I'm Brooklyn, I feel like this is a long game to get Jagor in the building, give him like a groom year, and then go after AJ and get him in, whatever range it is. And then you get AJ and Jagor and they're in Brooklyn together. That's what I think is happening right now.
Next level chess. I like the strategic thinking. I like Yegor. I've been saying it all
Me
year.
too. Yeah.
People are like so negative in our DMs and like
Well, he
in the
wouldn't be
comment
there at
section.
19. Well, he wouldn't be there at
Yeah.
19. And that's the thing. Like the way that they did this, they were like, the Bulls are going to take him at 12. So we either take him at 8, which is a little too high, or we don't get him at all because we're going to lose him. So they just took him at 8. I understand.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I think I've been saying all year, probably ad nauseum, like that foundation of tools is just something you don't really see. Like he's really gifted, playmaker, smart kid, kind of like curious, loves basketball, and then like people pick apart his shooting. Like he shot the same percentage as Jeremiah Fears.
Yeah, right.
One's 6'3", one's 6'9". So do that what you will. But yeah, I watched him work out in Chicago. I mean, that's not end all be all, but like he's gotten better throughout the year.
He
I think he
also
played.
doesn't have to be the point guard. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I feel like
exactly.
everyone's like, can he? Well, he can't be the point guard. It's like, well, he's the size of a wing. So wouldn't it be great to have Franz Wagner right over here and have a secondary creator? That'd be nice. So like, I don't understand that we have to put him in this box of a point guard too. I feel like that's really dumb.
Yeah, Brian Wright actually talked about that in his presser last night when they're asking about, Dylan Harper, you got a lot of guards, like you consider moving it because of positional fit. And he's like, honestly, like, did you just watch the playoffs? Like, why are we wasting time on positional fit? Like, we should really be looking at like how they fit character wise, or what are the traits they need to develop, or what's the swing skill, or like how adaptable they are. And I 100%
Right.
agree. I think it's incredibly limiting to like look at Yegor through, is he a point guard? Is he a wing? It's just like, why can't he play a
Right.
little bit 1 through 3, secondary playmaking? If he can shoot it, he can kind of do everything offensively. He's smart enough to make quick reads off a closeout. He got a lot of hockey assists at BYU. Just like, some guys, their high feel is like they need the ball, right? Like he needs a ball screen. Like he needs to dribble it and, dribble the air out of the basketball to showcase his IQ. The reason why I've been drawn to Yegor is like he don't need to dribble the ball. Quick hits in
Right.
transition, quick extra. I mean, there's times he gets a rebound. He has eyes in the back of his head, can find shooters. So I'm interested to see how they empower him.